Before we get to building muscle, it's important to first understand function. When people think about the biceps, they're really talking about a group of muscles with two primary functions. The first major function is flexion, and this is done by 4 different muscles. The long head, which is more lateral and further away from the body, and then the short head, which is more medial. And then you have an often neglected muscle which is found deep beneath the biceps called the brachialis, and when developed it can actually push your biceps up more to provide a better peak. Then lastly, we have a muscle that is very pronounced on the forearm called the brachioradialis muscle. All these muscles are involved when it comes to flexion of the arm at the elbow. Also, since both biceps attach at the radius, they have the ability to aid supination of the forearm. Then you have a small muscle that also supinates called, you guessed it, the supinator. So now that we know all the components of the anterior compartment of the upper arm, aka the bicep region, if our goal is size and strength, we want to choose exercises that will allow growth in both heads, as well as the brachialis. You don't need to do a million types of curls to build great biceps. Only a few movements are really necessary that are able to work the full spectrum of muscle fibers in multiple ways and angles. So let's dive into the research to figure out which exercises hit these muscles the best. To start off, let's look at a 2014 study by the American Council on Exercise, which compared EMG activation of the biceps with 7 different exercises. In this exercise, it showed that concentration curls outperformed all other exercises, while the rest were relatively similar at activating the biceps. Along with that, we have another study which researched the impact of the shoulder angle on the activation of the long head of the bicep. And in this study, it showed that exercises such as the incline dumbbell curl and the dumbbell bicep curl resulted in a considerable amount of effort throughout the whole range of motion, while something like the preacher curl did not. And if you've ever done a preacher curl, you can imagine why. Generally, at the top of the lift, you can chill and stare at the ceiling or do whatever, because instead of the force of gravity being perpendicular with your forearm, which generates the most amount of force, it is parallel, so the force is going through your arm and into your elbow, so you can just rest it comfortably on the pad. And so with that said, it's safe to say it'd be a good idea to include concentration curls in every workout and sprinkle a couple of other bicep exercises that you enjoy into your routine. So enough science, let's focus on the workouts. So let's start off with the concentration curl. So not only did the current study show that concentration curl had the greatest activation, but the activation of the anterior delt was significantly less than with most other exercises. And this is probably because during a concentration curl, the humerus is pressed against the leg and does not allow the upper arm to sway, which isolates the biceps. And one great thing about it is you can stare at yourself to give yourself some extra motivation, and gives you that mind-muscle connection that you need to make sure that you're really targeting the fibers that you want when you're in the gym. So whether it's subconscious encouragement or whatever, it's probably very helpful. Along with the concentration curl, here are a couple more exercises that I enjoy on my bicep day. One, we have the barbell curls. So with the barbell curls, there's multiple ways to do this. If you have your arms about shoulder width apart, you're going to put more strain on your long head of the biceps. And if you widen your grip, you're going to put more strain on the short head of your biceps. So I recommend doing the 2 different variations to see what you like, and also to target different muscle fibers at different angles. Another great exercise is cable curls. The reason why cable curls is such a great exercise is because you get to put tension throughout the whole range of motion, which is a drawback for most exercises that involve dumbbells or barbells. So this is a great one to supplement with. Lastly, you want to make sure that you're hitting your brachioradialis. And a great way to do this is by doing reverse grip, easy bar curls. The beautiful thing about this exercise is your hands are pronated. And when your hands are pronated, that takes a lot of the activation out of your biceps. All right, so this exercise is something that you definitely want to try, especially if you're trying to build your forearms. And there's many other forearm exercises that are going to incorporate the brachioradialis. Here is a recommended workout routine for you to follow. Hey guys, thank you for taking the time to watch that video. I hope you learned something. I hope you got some good information out of it. It is my first video, and I'll hopefully get better as time goes on. So if you like that video, share it with your friends, like, subscribe, do all the fun social media things, and comment and let me know what you guys would like me to break down next. All right, in the meantime, Stay swole, stay strong, stay healthy. Let's get it.